That is just too hypocritical. What the heck gives Harry the opportunity to speak at the United Nations? Good morning, and thank you very much for tuning in to the Sussex Daily News Channel. What experience does Harry have that makes him qualified to speak about climate change at the United Nations the following week? How in the hell does he get these opportunities to give speeches? He has 0 qualifications, neither in terms of his education nor his experience in the real world. Is everyone else in the world getting dumber? Is Harry already trying to compete for attention with William's Earthshot, which is scheduled to arrive in the United States later this year? I cannot help but wonder why the United Nations is providing Harry with a platform. Up to this point, William's project has involved leading scientists and leading innovative ideas. Both will hopefully lead to the discovery of solutions. William has the support of powerful figures, including David Attenborough, who is a particularly notable example. It really pisses me off that Harry was given the opportunity to do that. The United Nations is behaving in an inept manner, much like Netflix and Spotify. Is Harry attempting to work his way into the Earthshot project with this move? I pray that William does not let Harry have any contact with the Earthshot initiative, because Harry is a fake and William is a good friend. Harry, what do you mean by the do as I say, but not as I do? Or what I like to refer to as hypocrite Harry's environmentalist credentials when he launched his travelist initiative last year. It is a scam, by the way, just like everything else that company does. Hypocrites that they are, the Harkles, full stop. The hypocrisy that they have displayed with regard to their efforts to be eco-warriors is nonsense, and there have been hypocrites for a very long time in regard to the fight against climate change. They would not even consider using commercial airlines for their travels. Not at all. They have to take chartered flights instead. They ensure their safety by driving around in a Cadillac Escalade, accompanied by at least one additional example of one of the most harmful to the environment vehicles currently available on the market. Their experience in Los Angeles can be summed up in one word: monstrosity. Their hilarious missteps in public relations are now the stuff of legend. They have managed to find themselves in increasingly ridiculous predicaments. They are the equivalent of Abbott and Costello in the modern era. The exception is that they are not in on the joke. He talks a big game about the environment, which is supposed to be a cause near and dear to just Harry's heart, but he does not live up to the standards that he sets for others. Travelist is, without a doubt, an extremely admirable enterprise. I'm being sarcastic. At the big launch in Amsterdam, Harry made his remarks and claimed that he had the idea for the project while he was on vacation in the Caribbean. When he got there, he met a young boy who was only 7 years old. The boy told him that the coral reef in his country was dying because of Harry's country. The time had come for ecowarrior to leap into action. Wow, is that some kind of motivation for starting a charitable organization or what? Did it not cause you to pause for a moment and consider how the decisions you made could impact the future? Have you stopped using private jets and gotten rid of vehicles that consume excessive amounts of gas? Harry has not. In the course of 11 days during the summer, the couple had used a private jet for 4 of their flights. That has nothing to do with either this or that, right, Harry? Regarding his activism against climate change, Prince Harry is nothing more than a hypocrite. Follow what I say and don't question me about the things I do. While preaching about being kinder to the planet, Prince Harry was asked about his use of private jets. In response, he said, "Occasionally, there needs to be an opportunity based on a unique circumstance to ensure that my family is safe. It's generally as simple as that." The conclusion is as follows. It is acceptable for him to maintain his extravagant way of life. It is unthinkable that you would subject your loved ones to the humiliation of travelling in the same cabin as the working stiffs who fund your lavish lifestyle. After some time has passed, it would appear that the hypocrites in Hollywood have not evolved in any way. A Cadillac Escalade bearing the HYPOCRlTlCAL likeness was spotted being driven around the Beverly Hills area, one of the polluting vehicles that can be purchased for a given amount of money. What kind of twisted ideas are those in charge of public relations having? Who among them didn't think to yell out, "Wait a second"? Since you are always going on and on about the importance of taking care of the environment, it might not be the best idea for you to drive around in one of the most environmentally unfriendly cars in the world. It seems that strutting around in luxury is more important than preserving the coral reef that was created by the little kid in the Caribbean. According to the research, the HYPOCRlTCALs have a carbon footprint that is 26 times larger than the typical person in the United Kingdom. And they have the audacity to lecture us on matters pertaining to the environment. The only thing about the HYPOCRlTCALs that is green is their envy and jealousy for other people. The person who considers themselves an eco-warrior and who enjoys lecturing other people on the topic of climate change is among the top 1% of people on the planet in terms of their carbon emissions. If he can't reduce the amount of carbon, he should at least reduce the amount of garbage he produces. In all honesty, you couldn't make up something like this. If there's one moment that exemplifies Prince Harry's commitment to the environment, it's when he addressed a group of young people and said, "Climate change is a humanitarian issue, and one where we've been far too slow in waking up to and acting on the damaging impact our living is having on the world. There is that trendy word, humanitarian, once more. And you want to talk about being slow? His movements are not just sluggish, they are almost comatose. Only a few days earlier, Harry had just returned from Birmingham after spending $7,500 on a private helicopter ride in order to get there. Do as I say, not as I do. This is how Harry does things. His wife is also not exempt from responsibility in this matter. This woman's speech for the Girl Up Summit was completely uninspiring, and she rambled on and on about the necessity for all of us to take charge of the debate on a variety of issues, including climate change. Megsie, darling, you can count on it. This is a rich statement coming from a woman who flew internationally a total of 53 times in the span of 1 year. Harry did not work for his title. He was born with it. So the mindless chump is using it for all that it's worth, and his narcissistic wife will be there with him, posing around in something expensive and probably inappropriate with lots of sparkles and that sickening smile. Harry's only credentials are that he's called a prince. He did not earn the title, he was born with it. How the United Nations can be taken seriously when they have someone as incompetent as a speaker is beyond my comprehension. It is beyond pitiful, and it makes me wonder who is paying who. It is obvious that Harry is capitalizing on his royal title, as well as the fact that he is Prince William's brother, in order to market himself. It appears that Meg's is doing so too. If any of us pay attention to what Harry says during the United Nations event, then it is a guarantee that what he says will undoubtedly repeat what William said during the beginning of the original Earthshot. I am curious to know what the United Nations would conclude if they received a deluge of letters criticizing their decision to hire Harry for his knowledge of a subject that he has actually no expertise in. For Meghan, his riches blew her mind because she had never seen, nor would she ever see, this kind of wealth had she not married Harry. So now that she has gotten a taste of it, she can't or won't accept anything less. So it is the titles to the rescue. As long as they have titles, they will milk them to the very last drop. For Harry, being rich is normal, but now he needs to use his title to make money to keep up with his wife's spending and to keep her happy. They are at it again, pretending to be a duke and duchess in the United States. There was a place for Harry on the international stage in the United Kingdom. He had groups and causes that counted on him, and his wife also had a few of her own. They left them behind in order to have a simpler life in the United States. Now that they are here, they are playing famous activists. It makes sense that Harry was active in environmental organizations in the United Kingdom. However, for Meghan, this seems to be nothing more than the newest fad. And there are always reporters and television cameras present to watch it all unfold. Take a look at us. Take a look at everything we do to help the world. They are striving very hard to become known as royals of the world. I can't help but wonder if they have any idea how pitiful they come across to the majority of us. Please don't leave your home and look for work. There are plenty of other ways to make a living. And you, what are your thoughts regarding them? I would appreciate it if you could let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and we can also discuss Meghan and Harry's hypocrisy. If you find my video interesting, please remember to like it and spread the link to anyone who may enjoy it too. By subscribing to our channel, you will ensure that you never miss any new updates that are posted by the Sussex Daily news team. Now, I want to say goodbye and thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow.